And welcome to Games XP Championship. We are here. Got a match for you guys tonight. We've got the Reign of Kings and we got Atlas Esports. We got the two teams joining in the second half of the league, taking each other out in a Week 9 clash. And I'll be here for the best of 3 series. I'm Skyson. And joining me here tonight is the jungle sensation we've been looking to, the man of Pantheon Jungle until people stop dying at level 2. It is our man, Hottie Williams.
Thank you very much, Skyson. Good to be here. I'm looking forward to some good games, hopefully, here.
And I'm interested in what we see. We see a little bit. Of course, the Reign of Kings roster has looked about the same from the start. And on the side of Atlas Esports, we do have a switch up. We have Chibaterasu, previously the mid for this team, moving down to the AD carry, as we see a charming Ari jumping into the mid lane here in his place.
Yeah. A really strong Ari player. My question is going to be, what else do they play? Over 500 games played of Ari. Not many other laners played. So that's going to be the interesting storyline here, is can charming Ari perform on something other than Ari if it's taken away from him?
Yeah, let's say Ari is definitely not a champion, I believe, that is in Unique's pool for Reign of Kings. He is very, been very noteworthy on his Lysandra and Akali have sort of been his two go-to picks for most of this league. So seeing those, not surprised to see. So it'd be interesting to see if they're going to spend a ban on the Ari, or if they, plan. Because a lot of, I think, the way Reign of Kings likes to play is a lot of their lane counters. So if they see the Ari, they might have a plan of what they want to do with it. Nope, they're going to ban it.
Yeah, and there goes. I'm more interested, though, in these first two bans to come out. We see some really heavy bans going against both the junglers. I think both are top picks going away right away. Not necessarily S tier junglers. Camille could be centered in another jungle ban too. I don't think maybe Vitor plays at top, but I'm not sure there.
Yeah, I definitely the Camille ban as a swing and a jot. He's definitely garnered a lot of the bans targeted at him for most of this series, and he has of course been at the forefront of a lot of Reign of Kings wins as of recent. They've been building a lot of momentum going, and I believe last week they scored 2 wins back to back. So a lot of it coming off of the back of the Jot's very aggressive early plays. So taking away that Camille pick with that level 2 presence, level 3, it's a lot of power to put into early ganks from him.
Yeah,
and
the Graves goes is 3 jungle bans. Let's
there you go.
I'm interested to see what he goes on. There's still some really strong power picks up. I would consider Xin to be really strong right now. Especially with all these power picks taken away in the jungle. I mean, a lot of people prefer the tanks right now.
Yeah, I was say Pax Talamanis in particular is very notable for playing most of the jungles. Like he's played a lot of Sejuani for most of this series, and I believe he has another game on Amumu. So he's very comfortable on those tank picks. So even taking away those power jungler type picks, it's not really affecting his pool that much.
Yeah, I do wonder there, if he wants to play a tank though, why leave the Trundle up?
Right.
I feel like that's kind of playing right into a Jat's hand if they do want to go for one of those picks, because Trundle will counter the Sejuani. Oh,
ooh,
the Xin away. I like this. I like this a lot. I like the pairing of Thresh and Xin Zhao right off the bat. That is a lot of really good gank assist, and Xin Zhao can thrive off early ganks into a Thresh lane. A lot of good setup for both of them.
The one I'm looking at here for maybe an early aggressor is maybe Kayn. That's still on the board.
Yeah, but Kayn is more of, he wants to farm up and get his form evolved, whether he's going blue or red. That's kind of what he's looking to do, and because he really comes online on that 3rd to 4th item, and then he just becomes unstoppable.
Ooh,
that's definitely not Ari.
That's spicy.
I don't know if we'll actually see this locked in, so maybe not talk about it so much, but maybe switch back to the pickup of Ezreal and Alistar and the bot lane of Atlas.
Yeah, seeing on the side of Reign of Kings, we have Asadius has been very notorious. He's been playing Ezreal for most of the series, I know. For most of the games in the league, he's been very comfortable on the Ezreal pick, sort of capitalizing on a lot of the front line that gets picked up, and Unique very good at getting in the forefront on these mobile sort of aggressor mid laners, and along with the Jot usually getting into the fray as well. So Asadius is very comfortable staying in the back on this Ezreal, doing his own thing.
Are we sure that the Akali is going into the mid lane? I know it's been being played in the top lane for several rosters.
I would say I believe this would be Unique's 6th game on Akali in this league, and I don't think I've seen Viator play it once. So I have heavy reason to believe this is a mid lane Akali, and I think that Reign of Kings is very confident that getting a pick for Unique is a very early objective for them, and if the Akali is up and they know that Unique performs on it, they want to take that early. So I definitely want to say that's going to be an Akali mid. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
But
I think it's pretty safe, but still open to flexing it. Sure, but you're probably right. It is his 2nd most played overall. So, I believe Reign of Kings did lose a ban. So
no, Atlas lost the ban.
Oh, sorry, Atlas lost the ban. So that's why I need to put like a note. Atlas is on the right.
Yeah, the guys with the R double brackets K is Reign of Kings. See the Fiora go out here for Fuzzies. Most notably pinching away the top laners. Pull here, Fuzzies of course had a very destructive performance on Riven in the last couple of games. That's sort of his flagship champion. So getting that, he's gonna go with the Ornn here. So he's building a really nice, AoE engage comp here with the Ornn ultimate and the Orianna balls, along with some Zen Zhao pass the ball into.
It's definitely very strong comp coming out of the side of Atlas. I'm really looking kind of what they're gonna round their comp off for Reign of Kings. I'd really like to see some hard CEC come out. Possibly the Cyanna's up, which is pretty fine into Ornn. The Aatrox, that is definitely a strong pick. I believe he can push the Ornn out early.
Right.
Should take over that lane and have priority.
We're looking for a jungler here now. Or a top. We have seen some Aatrox jungle.
Yeah, I've seen some. I would like to see the J4 possibly here. He provides an ability to kind of like lock up the Zen Zhao or the Ornn. But it looks like he's hovering the Sejuani.
I've seen a Sedge here.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of teams still throw a lot of preference towards the Sejuani, even after Riot pretty heavily nerfed its ult. The slow on the ulti went down from 3 seconds to 1 second, and that's a pretty heavy nerf. His ulti, his AoE slow is pretty impactful, or was pretty impactful, and I felt like it was a lot of his kit. Like the pick potential on one person is nice, but honestly, a lot of times it's that rest of the slow, the follow-up that really lets you lock down a team.
Yeah, I was saying, Sejuani really having that ability to control that area with the ultimate, to set up fights, to control the direction that your team sort of swings the fights, was really a lot of that 3-second overlap slow was really nice into setting that up there. It's still a good setup here to go for the Sejuani to the Alistar, or vice versa, one setting up for the other, while to lock up the front line while Akali gets to the back and Aatrox kind of gets into the center of things. So there's a lot of different areas of threat that Reign of Kings wants to throw on top of the Atlas crew. But at the same time, I think now with the interesting Vayne pickup on the side of Atlas, they have a very similar idea to start off with the Ornn ultimate. They sort of play the same idea. You have the Sejuani ultimate to the Ornn ultimate. You have Aatrox getting in to Zen Zhao getting in. Akali a little bit different than Orianna. Of course, Akali wants to get into the center of a team. Orianna can set up off of other people to have a lot easier time there. And Thresh able to find a pick more easily than Alistar having to force himself into the center of a team, while Vayne is a lot less far away than most AD carries getting into the fray of fights, versus Ezreal, who's kind of on the outskirts of fights, saying while you're dealing with all these other threats, you have the trouble of getting to me while I'm shooting you, more than likely with the Iceborne Qs and keeping you kited away.
Yeah, one of the things I'm really interested in is to see how well Sejuani does at setting up ganks into Aatrox and Akali. One of the really nice things about Sejuani is his passive, or her passive, I should say, and the ability to set up stuns with melee champions. That's something Akali and Aatrox both provide onto fairly immobile targets in Orianna and Ornn. Ornn does have one dash, but outside of that, it's pretty easy to lock him up, especially if he's already used that.
Yeah, it's very nice for both of these champions who, Aatrox, of course, having his own set of knockups, but it's very nice for these melee, front-loaded damage champions who don't have much CC. Because you talk a lot about junglers having easier lanes to gank for champions that have CC in their kit, but Sejuani able to provide a lot of CC in her own kit, as well as the extra from her passive if she's ganking for a melee champion. So it becomes a lot easier for Unique and them to get on top.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to just walk into your lane as a jungler, and already have 100% guaranteed stun, just because your opposing laner, like a Kali, can reset a ton of autos. Same thing with Aatrox. He can get down a lot of autos really quickly if he cancels his animations correctly. So provides some 100% guaranteed stun basically. You can't flash it, you can't get out of it. It's really really strong. So actually, with that passive, Sejuani and Aatrox, I don't even believe actually Aatrox, Sejuani, and Akali also win the 2v2 against Zinzao if they play it correctly, where they go on Zinzao first.
Yeah, I'm definitely liking look at this. So, newcomer Hottie Williams, let me know what you think about these two picks. Who do you think we're giving game one to? I had to let it down to you.
I think game one is going to Reign of Kings. I think their comp is a little more straightforward to execute on. You want your Akali and Aatrox to dive the back line. You have your Sejuani to engage with an ultimate. And then it's just, I think the gank setup is a lot better for Adjet than it is for Paximus over on the side of Atlas.
Gotcha. All right, you heard it here. We're looking to see what happens, see if Reign of Kings is going to take this one. And we're going to turn this over to a commercial break from our sponsor.
Own and operate GXPC in Decorah, Iowa. GXPC is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The GXPC motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa, and check out GXPC and experience this geek gaming paradise.
And we are in Game 1, Reign of Kings, Atlas Esports. We are getting on, and everyone's picked up, moving to the jungle, and looking like we're seeing the split off from Reign of Kings. Maybe the clump up from Atlas?
Yeah, definitely maybe something they could try here. They do have a really strong early level with the Zinzao and CC possibly from Thresh.
30 seconds.
They are stacked. Maybe they're expecting to invade. Looks like they're literally going to spread back out. We were talking, I think earlier on, inside the ad break, just how content we were to see Aftershock Sejuani come out. As something that I don't think everyone's picked up on for a long time. It looks like we might have an invade going on here, so let's see what develops here.
I think they got spotted out. Yeah, they're seeing them on the ward.
Yeah, going back.
Immediately ping's coming down.
Yeah. ROK getting counter vision on the other side. They might actually look to take away the red here. They do have positioning for it, and no vision from the side of Atlas.
Yeah, they send a ping down, so the people are moving, so they might take a look here, and I don't think that the people that are there want to make a fight happen. Fuzzy's going to walk up here and gonna go unnoticed.
That's kind of a big yikes. I mean, like, if he space checks that brush, he dies there. But at the same time, a ward over the wall onto red. Yeah, he dies there. Sejuani, stunned.
Yeah, Sejuani Aatrox. That's a lot of level 1 damage, actually.
He definitely dies there. But as a jungler, that's really kind of frustrating to lose your red. They do catch vision of the Aatrox leaving, though. So they do know that where he started. So you're going to see, it looks like they're both going right for red buff.
Oh, man. This is going to be a real skirmish. Fox telling the news there. On top of Unique. Unique throws the Q. Tuck's going to go into Jot. Ball's going to come in on him on the side. He's going to get locked up. Finds the stun off of Sejuani. They'll give away the Ignite, goes down on Pax. He flashes. Unique flashes after. Goes to the auto attack. Nazumi's going to find the knockback too. Chibiteri's got to watch out here. That's a lot of damage coming through. Ignite's going to come down on Nazumi as Destiny's looking for after the hook. But he's got to walk out of there. And we see some more action coming back in the mid lane. Ari's going to throw out another auto attack on Unique and get him back there.
Oh my gosh. So what I want to talk about here is how Pax, I think, just misplayed that fight. He went on the Sejuani. He went on Sejuani over the level 1. She didn't even have level 2 yet. Kali. If you go on Unique there, Unique has to flash or he dies. Because the Ori had 2. I really question that decision making there. You're not gonna burst. I mean, maybe if it was Fleet Footwork Sejuani, he might have had a chance. But he just procced his Aftershock with his passive.
Good hook from Destiny. Finds the play. A little bit of damage coming through. The Alistar combo going to come in on Chibiterius. He doesn't have the E to stun yet, but it's enough damage to get him out of there.
But I do like it. A lot of early Gershon coming through from Xin Zhao. That's what you want to see from Xin Zhao into tank matchups like this. He does win the 1v1, and when he has priority mid, which he does here, he should be looking to pressure as much as he can into Sejuani. That being said, he ended up being 3-buffed here. So they successfully defended the invade. They stole away Xin Zhao's red, and that might be... And that kind of goes back to level 1 with that invade. They really put themselves kind of in a difficult spot.
They're definitely looking around the map here. Pac's gonna go in on a Jot again, finds the slow, finds the follow-up. Hoaxton come through on Asadeus again, goes in for the flay, finds him after the Mystic Shot, condemns him to go down on Nazumi. They're trying to find the Lantern, but Destiny's gonna get headbutted in, has the flash out, takes a tower shot, and is gonna get the first blood to Asadeus. And they gotta look, Trader's gonna watch out here, flashes away before the third auto. Flash comes in from Asadeus, he finds the heal. And he's gonna survive. Man.
Wow. Really well played from Nazumi there. I think that Destiny just wasn't keeping good track of the summoners from the side of Reign of Kings. He still had his Ignite from earlier, and Atlas didn't have their Ignite, which allowed for them to make that play. Speaking of plays,
Pox is looking, finds the smite and gets the blue buff. Might find the kill here.
It looks like
Pox doesn't have flash. Another auto. Maybe a W.
Oh,
finds it.
And there you go. There's the Xin Zhao having secured priority in both his laners, having roamed over and helping him, doing what he should be doing.
Definitely, this is the aggression we want to see. And now you see Pax is up a good triple CS on top of a job. We see Unique trying to move in on Charming Ari there. Finding the Q, finding the auto.
Now, it's not enough just to put the Sejuani behind. He needs to start converting this advantage into other lanes. I want to see him maybe pressure towards mid here. The Unique doesn't have flash, burned it earlier. I think there's a lot of potential there for him to get off some ganks.
Yeah, he's still trying to play his trades pretty aggressively into the side of Charming Ari there. So it could be pretty easy for him to capitalize on him moving forward there with that Xin Zhao on top of the Orianna slows.
Yeah. we were kind of questioning whether or not Charming Ari would be able to perform on other picks outside of Ari, and so far he's built up an over 11 CS lead for himself in the mid lane there. Some of that I think is granted because of what happened early on in the jungle.
Right.
I think he lost an entire wave to tower to minions basically, but that still is really, really good. I feel like for the side of Orianna, because that's a lane that Akali should win early.
Right. You see a lot of the lanes that Orianna ends up fighting, or a lot of these bursty lanes that, you know, trades typically favor her in the long, you know, DPS matchups between her auto attack passive and the low cooldowns of her kit. But if you can get on top of her in sort of a more burst damage type mid laner that we see a lot, it really does a good number of shoving her out. So seeing something like Akali having a rougher time against her early makes a good case for Charming Ari moving here into the mid game.
Yeah. It definitely makes you wonder about just Unique's comfortability in feeling like he can be aggressive, because they just don't have control of the jungle and a vision at all. As you can see right now, is that Atlas is just choking the vision out of Reign of Kings right now. You can see the wards littered through the bot red side of Reign of Kings, and just there's no vision. They saw Sejuani on his Krugs, and there's just no opening. It feels like on the side of Reign of Kings to do anything on the map without being seen.
Ooh, this is the ball there. Unique looking, finds the ignite, finds the Q, finds the ultimate! Auto attack and takes the solo kill on the Charming Ari there. There you go.
There you go. It just seemed like not enough respect of Akali's level 6. I think they caught vision of Pax moving back into his jungle, and so she felt comfortable going aggressive. She got her ult and just went in and was able to just burst Charming Ari, who just honestly wasn't playing respectful enough, being down flash, and not having the protection of her jungler.
Yeah, so I think the Orianna skills just sort of came out in the wrong direction there. You saw the shield come on to Orianna after Akali had thrown the Q to not really shield off any much there, because of course the shield duration got lowered to about 2.5 seconds. And then after Akali was moving in the shroud, you saw the Q come out. So the QW came out the wrong direction, way past where Akali was, and right after that, Unique just jumped on her.
Yeah, it does kind of make you question the choice of the summoner TP, rather than something defensive like a barrier or even like a heal. Or even, honestly, a cleanse against something like a Sejuani.
Yeah,
not that it would have necessarily helped her there, but...
Barrier we've seen pretty commonly in sort of these burstier matchups. You see the Zed and Akali type for Orianna, so going with the teleport for the overall, you know, utility of the team, definitely a statement that ended up hurting Charming Ari a little bit in lane, but still sitting on a pretty comfortable CS lead. Hex Flash coming from Destiny HCL, but I don't think he's going to do anything off it. He Hex Flashes into a ward.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to hope there that he could bait something out from their side. They had Xin sitting right off the edge. Zin's really been struggling to get anything done in lanes, and honestly, I'm really disappointed that he hasn't been looking towards solo lanes at all. It really feels like for ganks. He pretty much has been content to try to counter jungle the Sejuani, and then he looked for a gank bot side. But honestly, I just don't think you're gonna get onto Ezreal, and you're not gonna get onto the Alistar, especially now that he's hit level 6.
Yeah, these bot lanes, it's definitely slim pickings for Zinzao to try to find something on the mobile Ezreal and the peel power of Alistar. And a lot of the top lane we've seen at the times the camera like switch up on us are mostly Viator shoving in fuzzies here in this top lane. On this, of course, we see the bulk of that early Aatrox damage really shoving fuzzies back into lane, and really looks like it gives them the opportunity to, you know, get up there and make something happen. But we haven't really seen any attention given to this top lane here at most. So we do see something here. Pack's gonna look in on a Jot. Charming Ari's there too. Goes for the shockwave after the W. Jot's gonna flash there, but the Ornn ultimate's coming in. And they're not gonna find what they're looking for. Pack's gonna go for the Xin Zhao ultimate. Unique is here, gets inside the circle, but doesn't have it. So he's on top of everyone. Everyone on their arcade side has to get out there. Unique's looking for more. Finds the ultimate and gets the kill, and Pax.
A really questionable decision for Pax there, positioning back up aggressively into the smoke. He did not know where Unique was in the smoke, and it's just it was a really good decision to kind of pressure the Sejuani. Kind of unfortunate not to get him early. I think he used his flash defensively, Pax did, and I think he should have used it aggressively to secure the kill onto Sejuani and take Sej completely out of the fight. It just gave time for Aatrox and for Akali to roam up and secure the kill onto Pax.
definitely the play they were looking for. And after they, had looked through all that damage, and once Unique really got into the fight after Charming Iron, they didn't manage to get the kills through the, Xin Zhao ultimate. It became that much harder. Hook's gonna come in on an Izumi here. He's gonna get stunned back up from the Alistair E before they make anything happen. Super Terrasu finding a little bit of damage there. Gonna heal up there. Short trades being made here in the bot lane.
So Sky said, currently we are 2 kills for 2 Akali ults. The question is, will it be 3 kills for 3 Akali ults?
Good case. I honestly didn't know for the longest time which skill was Akali's ultimate. Now I realize it's not the dash, it's the big dash that's her ultimate. The flash afterwards, not gonna find the flay as he brings in Pax from the lantern. Box is coming, Izumi goes for the flash. Another hook coming in on Destiny's low here. Finds a stun auto attack, but we're gonna see him come back in. We're gonna see teleports come in from everybody. Everyone's gonna do Tributaries is gonna pop the ultimate, try to find something happen. Everything's happening, but everyone on the side of Al is going way too low here. They can't get the kite back, and they're gonna walk away before losing anyone here.
Really well played from the side of Reign of Kings. Just disengage that. I think it was overforced from the side of Atlas. There's not really again, it shows how easy it is for Ezreal and for Alistair to disengage and just walk away from that fight.
Yeah, it's a lot harder when you don't have the added boon of the Ornn ultimate, knocking people up to start a fight. You just kind of have a guy entering melee range and saying, hey, I'm going to stick to you. And then Alistair, a pretty great champion, is saying, no, melee guy, you do not get to stick to me, and getting him out of that fight. So and of course we saw Destiny find the hook onto... And it was kind of unfortunate. He brought in Pax off that lantern, but flashed for the flay and didn't quite find the direction that he wanted, so the flay ended up not going through. So it made it a little bit harder for them to capitalize off that CC usage.
Yeah. And it was kind of lucky there. Ajat didn't have his ult. Otherwise, that would have been a complete turn from the side of Reign of Kings on that gank. I think it was almost like just about 10-15 seconds off CD.
Definitely looking for us, so we're still seeing things moving a little bit forward in Reign of King's favor. A little more CS lead built up in the top lane. Things roughly even in the bot lane. You see the kill up on Astadeus, working into that Trinity Force there over the Iceborne. So he's looking to put himself out there for a little bit more damage in lane. So I think he's pretty comfortable mostly going for the Triforce over the Iceborne in a lot of his games.
So he's still going... Yeah. Going back to Pax and his early aggression, it really hasn't netted them anything, and Ajat's getting to the point where he just provides more to the team overall. Yeah. With his ulti, with his passive, he's just going to do more work in team fights around objectives than Pax can do, and that's going to be an issue. I'm really disappointed that Pax is continuing to focus on this bot lane. I don't think he's going to find kills there. I think he's better off looking for either objectives or looking for maybe ganking. I mean, even the Aatrox is gankable in my mind. Yeah. And oh, look, we have a room coming up the top.
There's 3 headed there. Fuzzy's going to build an item, but there's Unique over the wall. Ajat's here too. Viators there. They are 3 men on top of Fuzzy's. He doesn't even get a chance to pop the ultimate. He is going to go down to Ajat.
And again, Pax is back in the bot lane, trying to make something happen, and it's not there. It's an Ezreal. He's got his flash. I mean, they're gonna secure Drake here, but it's a Cloud Drake for first tower top, and you're just gonna continue to see the solo lanes for Reign of Kings snowball out of control.
Yeah, I would say for the Cloud Drake, they're also putting that that tower money into both Unique and Viator's pockets. So that's 325 gold. To the pair of them, which they will both happily take, as their Unique is just slowly ramping up to this threat. That, I mean, we see it so many times him on this Akali that I know we've talked about it, the power of their comp now that they have now Vader sitting on this very potent threat in this Aatrox, and if Unique's going to keep picking these kills and getting all this money, then he's going to be able to put a lot of damage into the back line of Atlas here, and it's going to be really rough for them.
Yeah. Looks like we had a slight misplay come out from the side of Nazim there. It looks like he tried to get his headbutt and pulled through, but the headbutt didn't go through there onto Pax. Probably pretty fortunate, because I don't think Unique was in position to help follow up on that. And just to point out, we are 3 for 3 kills with Unique.
Nice. True. Oh, the flash coming from Ajaz. He tries to land the Q. Doesn't quite land the knock up there. Throws the ultimate to stave him off.
I
went for
really
the Gragas move there, not quite finding the knockout.
I really question that. Like,
yeah, it was on a Thresh Lantern.
It was just the two of them down there. The Thresh Lantern, both summoners were up on Vayne. I don't see that happening. I wonder also why Pax is still here. They saw him here. I guess maybe he's just making sure they stay safe when they get their backs off.
He's playing ultimate babysitter with a spear here. And
I think that would be fine in a lot of other situations where your solo lanes aren't. Speaking of solo lanes,
or an ultimate here, not gonna find the marker. Unique's gonna flash in onto Tox, telling the new has to get out of there as he was in the ultimate come in. Unique going a little crazy with that aggression. Charming already trying to look for the finish there, not quite finding it. Fuzzy's gonna get him away there, and a little wild.
Yeah, definitely very wild right there. Hey, the first ult charge of Unique's used where he didn't get a kill. I think he could have dropped the ignite though, honestly, on Pax, and Pax might have died there because it stops his healing.
Yeah, I would say he wanted to ignite there to get the healing off into the it. After he disengaged with the ultimate, it didn't end up working out for him.
I do wonder if Charming Ari just didn't have enough mana for ulti there. It looked like she might have and just wasn't able to find a good opportunity to ult, but it definitely looked like an opportunity to get a kill back onto Unique that was just
Tributary's gonna get knocked up here. Goes to the Thresh Lantern in time. Looking for Viator, who is unusually fast off that ultimate. Can't flame away, gets the box slow there. Ending up managing to keep him away. That was... Does he get that much move speed off his ultimate?
He gets quite a sizable... He's able to run people down quite easily, and it looks like they want to continue to force, but it looks like we have a response.
Not gonna go off of it there. Everyone else on the Reign of Kings on the side.
I think that's pretty smart right there. Akali can just throw down her smoke cloud and, sit there and wait for the rest of the team to follow up. I mean, Aatrox doesn't have his ult, though, so this is a point where you can look to fight.
And we are seeing the shove in here from the side of Reign of Kings. Maybe a stray throw shook. Ezreal putting out some damage on the back there. And they're peeking. Horn's going to build an item here. They have Sedge on the side.
Ori's coming down. It is Charming Ari on Ori. I know it's kind of confusing, but...
Really, you can just say the champ name and it's all good.
But it looks like they're just content to back away and not continue the pressure.
Works out for them. So we see a good old ARAM in the bot lane now, and hopefully we reset a little bit here. Thurshlock's not going to find anybody in open air.
Yeah, you have Ornal coming up. I'd like to see
that's
that.
when the ultimate comes in. Also trying to get in the center of things. We're going to see the Ornal ultimate come in afterwards. A big one finds a 3-man knockup. Looking for more. Zin's down the center of things. We're going to see the kill go down in a jot, and they try to get some more here to go through. Unique does not find the kill. Viator teleports in a little late. Not quite right. Finds the flash. Q finds the knockup on 3. Gets the lockup. Unique finds a kill. He's looking for more here. Finds it on the Pax. Gets the double kill. He's going to keep going through. Unique's trying to find something on the end, but he's going to find the double kill there off the back of that flash 3-man knockup from Viator. Very nicely done on the side of Reign of Kings.
That start of the fight was exactly what Atlas wanted, but the turnaround from Viator was just immaculate. He was able to hit the 3-man knockup on his Q. And again, just him and Unique just outperforming their counterpart points right now. The engage from the side of Reign of Kings was a little subject. They went on straight onto the tank, onto the Ornn, who was able to live through the burst, and then even call his ult in. But again, just really well played from Viator to find the flash knockup onto 3 players.
All right, we're kind of finding the issue that if we're not finding the issue on the side of Atlas Esports right now is kind of the, I don't know, the delayed power spike of this Vayne, who's sort of their primary damage deal in these fights, because Pax is really in a spot where he has to force himself into the center of these fights, and he doesn't really have any good targets to hit. I mean, he can't get to the Ezreal, who can arcane shift away. Alistar, Sejuani are both too beefy, and Aatrox is flying past him to try to get to the backline. So unless unless the Pax on Zen is able to get back there, then we find the Sejuani ultimate, finds Charming Ari, gonna get knocked out by the Alistar. The Ezreal ultimate comes through, finds a shockwave on 2, but has nowhere to go. Asadea is gonna pick up the kill there on the Ezreal.
Yeah, just not enough vision coming out from the side of Atlas right there. Just didn't see them come in, and he got picked. And that's somewhere where you also look at, and he had the TP, and it's up, and so you wonder, wouldn't cleanse help there? You would have been able to cleanse the Sejuani ult.
Zumi. Hook's gonna come in on Asadea. Shibatirius is on the side, finds the ultimate. Unique's trying to get to him, but he stealths out. With his ultimate come in, or an ultimate finds 3! They're looking for more here. Shibatirius there to kill Nezumi. Unique's trying to get to the backline to get to him. Takes Vayne out, but tell him Pax is there. Unique's gonna flip out of there. Finds the kill in return. Sejuani can't get on top of anyone. Unique's gonna find the kill there. Asadeus gonna get hooked up, but he finds the double kill anyway. Destiny's trying to slide in, finds the flay. Doesn't have enough damage to get through. Tries to take down Asadeus on his side, and a triple kill comes in as Charming R is in the center of things, and that is an ace for Reign of Kings.
I really question why Atlas started that fight. They were down the Ori. Her TP came in super late, and she just wasn't able to contribute at all to that fight. And it was just I don't know what they were looking for there. It's honestly it's one Fire Drake, which you're not gonna get, and then you just saw the issue there being Unique. The fight was going pretty well, and the Unique just found his moment and killed the Vayne, and it was over. If Vayne had been able to flash that, they might have been able to win that fight, but as soon as Unique found him, it was over.
I think that's sort of the issue that they're getting to now that Unique is at this point where he's so ahead on the Sakali, that I think you're getting to the point where to keep Shibatirisu alive and able to make these fights, you have to commit at least 1 or 2 people to peel off the Sakali. Like, you need the Thresh Flay, and I think we might be at the point you need the Xin Zhao ultimate to just try to get her away.
Yeah, and ideally as Xin Zhao, you're probably going onto the Akali too and trying to keep her busy.
Right.
But if you go on her with your E, you're not actually shoving her away from the team like you want. Looks like they try to force onto Alistar here, but nothing going there because it is Alistar. Sejuani looking for the re-engage though.
I just went into Pax. Gonna find the blast code, stuns him for the blast code. The Ornn's gonna come through. Hook's gonna come in, but they're in the center of this fight. Shockwave gonna come through. Pack's not tanking enough. He's gonna go down to a Jota. Nezumian's still in the center of things. Ornn ultimate's gonna go past him, but knocks up everyone else from behind. Ari's gonna find a kill there on top of Nezumi. Fuzzy's trying to get into the center of things, pulled out by the Lantern. Charming Ari's gonna get locked up by Sejuani here. Too much damage coming out from Asadeus. He is dominating right now. That is 3. Destiny's gonna go down next. They find the kill over to Asadeus, and he is on a double kill here. That man is 7-0 and is flipped over into the Muramana here.
Yeah, he picked up a triple kill at that Dragon fight earlier, and just to pick up 2 more right now, it basically is going perfectly for the side of Reign of Kings. They're getting everything they want plus more. They got Unique to pop off early. They were able to translate that into kills on Ezreal, so he hits his power spike before Vayne can hit hers. And at this point, there's not much Atlas can do besides pray and hope that there comes a big throw from the side of
Alex, not enough tankiness there as he's gonna go down. Legendary now on Asadeus as they take down the Nexus tower, or the inhibitor tower. And,
yeah.
Oof.
This is a big issue right now for the side of Atlas. They're just, I don't know, they're looking to always fight, and I just don't know what they're gonna find. Like what they, onto Alistar, it's just not what you want.
Can't really make a team that looks to find picks when you find a pick on one person and it's either Alistar disengaging you or Akali saying, hey, you found the wrong person, and then jumps on the center of your team. Whoa, a lot of damage on Unique there.
The issue is Unique's not just the problem anymore, though. Unique's just a sideshow to Asadeus, who is doing tons of work with the transformed Miramana and the Triforce.
Yeah, he's sitting on close enough money to head back to the shop and almost finish off the Blade of the Ring. I think he does finish the Blade of the Ring here. Maybe he sells the Grand Blade. Yeah, but he's also sitting with the most gold in the game, breaking the 10.5K mark with the next highest in the game, not even 9K.
Yeah, they have 2 players. He just and he bought it, straight up bought it. Just got it. You had 3 players on the side of Reign of Kings back with almost 15K or more in pocket. The gold lead is almost 8K. I don't see, and they're just spiking at the wrong time. Looking for the engage on a Sejuani, but again,
I mean, they have Vayne here, who can do damage as long as Unique's not in the middle of things. He flashes away from Unique, but there's nothing they can do to this Akali. Unique flipping and flopping around, finds the double kill, and they can't.
again, I don't know what they're looking for right there. They can't fight. You're looking at a single item Vayne to a 3-item Ezreal. It doesn't matter if none of the other members of the team are there. The 2 most fed members in Unique and Ossideus are there. And if you're not going on them, you just shouldn't fight it. It's fine to throw the hooks out. But if you're not landing the hook on Ossideus or Unique, you just shouldn't pull the trigger.
Not a lot they can really make plays off here there. I mean, at this point, I think they're flexing the fact that they're able to land the hooks, which is great. But the issue you run into when you run these comps like this, where you put so much value into making individual picks, is if none of these champions care about getting picked at this point, then things just become rough for you. And they're looking for the Baron here. Destiny's kind of peeking around the side. They want to make something that they're going to back off here.
I think that's a fine decision. You're sitting at Pax has the same level, so his smite is on the same amount of damage, so he has potential to steal it. I would have liked to see them maybe take the Baron down to about 3k damage and hold it there. You have a tank in Sejuani, they can tank that, and you have the ult still left on Alistar, so it's possible for you to take and hold Baron. We see them going right back to it though, as you see Atlas start off the Dragon.
They want a little extra 80 AP in their pockets to fight up this gigantic Baron buff team of Reign of Kings. Maybe not the trade they want to make here, but we're going to see Destiny walk up here. I don't think they're going to get anything out of the Ornn. Ultimate comes through. Oh, he flashes in, doesn't find the steal. Ultimate's going to knock people aside. We see the Ornn come through. Ossideus, legendary now. They take out Pax. Unique takes out Chibuterasu. We're going to see the double in there for Ossideus. Looking for a little more. The stun's going to come up. Everything's coming to Unique's on a killing spree here. We see Charming Ari get himself out of there. Ossideus looking for a little bit more, but he's not going to find it off the back of the Orianna slow. And I think that is the final nail in the coffin that Reign of Kings is putting here.
I think it's fine there to try to go for the steal on the Baron, but I think it needs to be just the call that, hey, I'm just going for the steal. The rest of the team should just play for the disengage. Get me in and then just get out, because you're not going to win the team fight there. You're just trying to steal Baron.
Yeah, so they even have the Thresh Lantern if they wanted to get crazy with trying to get him out there, but
exactly. And then you don't even need to save him there. You just honestly go for the steal. If you get the steal, great, you stall the game. But they didn't do that, and then they lost the team fight afterwards, and this is the result. You just see the game end.
So there you are. Game 1 is going to go in very convincing fashion to Reign of Kings. And run some post-game stats real quick before we slide in, because Game 2 is looking to get started real soon. We see, of course, pulling ahead there. Ossideus definitely put in work on that Ezreal. We saw a lot of moves from Unique Sakali there, but of course sitting at 25,000 damage to champs off the back of Ossideus' Ezreal, with the next highest in the game being 15,000 from Unique Sakali. So the carry definitely had, I mean, he had everything in front of him. We talked about it. You have a front line, you have Peel, you have assassins creating chaos. That was really just Ezreal being able to hit Q at his leisure.
Yeah, what I really want to focus on here is the early game from the side of Atlas, because it went their way for about, well, it started not their way, and then it went back towards going their way, and you saw a really big lead open up for Pax. And then you just saw him repeat gank into bot again and again and again, and just get nothing. Well, on the other side, you saw a lot of work come out from the side of Ajat, just focusing on keeping his lanes alive, counter ganking, and then finding opportunities to roam with Unique and get kills. And I really think that needs to be the focus point here. If we're going to give Pax an early game champion, Pax, you've got to take the advantage you get, and you've got to translate it into a lane. I don't know if they need to then look to give a Charming Ari a different champion than Orianna, or put someone on something else than Ornn, or take like the Ezreal away so you actually have opportunity to gank bot. But I'd really like to see them give what seemed like their strongest component, because you kind of look at the game, you look at how it started out. Pax was the person with the advantage, and he wasn't able to do anything to help his team grow in their advantage at all. And see if he could take that and have the tools in this game to really help his team secure a win.
Definitely, I agree with everything there. So we did see the Hot Aliens prediction go through. We saw Reign of Kings take that game. we'll see if Alice is going to make the proper adjustments here, and I believe we're going to shoot this over to a commercial break before we get into game 2. And we are back. Games XP Championship. We are here with game 2 between Reign of Kings and Atlas Esports. We've got 1-0 on the side of Reign of Kings, who are now on the right side of our map.
And I have crossed off right, and I have put left next to Atlas. So hopefully this time I won't mess up during champs.
Excellent. So we're looking to get into game 2. We talked a little bit about the adjustments that we want to see from the side of Atlas, and I don't know how much of that. I know what I'm thinking about, putting in a lot of it in the hands of the ban phase, and I think that a lot of times we see these bans get thrown. You know, all these bans that get thrown on a Jot, and really didn't seem to. I know you threw all the aggressive bans at him. He went back on the tank, and he did his job on the tank. So are we looking to maybe, shift up the bans and maybe, say, hey, this Akali really messed us up in these fights? Because really it got to the point where GXPC, even though he was, 1.5 item vain, you saw him start off fights looking pretty strong. I mean, he found the ultimate, he was getting on top of people, but once Unique said, I smell an AD carry, GXPC was removed from the game. So is that getting rid of, one of those very prominent assassins? Is that maybe something that Alice might want to look for here?
I personally think Akali has to be banned. I think there's 3 bans that have to come down from all teams if your other team plays it proficiently. If the enemy team plays Akali, you have to ban it. If the enemy team plays Urgot, you have to ban it. And if the enemy team plays Sion, you should ban it. those are the 3 bans that, in my mind, have to come down if the enemy team plays that or plays it well. Or you have to look to trade one of those OP picks, trade the Akali for like the Scion and the Urgot. Be open to find an advantage somewhere else on the map. That being said, based on the picks and bans we saw come out, and the fact that Ajat showed he's more than comfortable playing tanks, I think you have to say, okay, maybe instead we try to play a tank on our side and just absorb Ajat's pressure. Because if you can't convert on an aggressive jungler against a passive jungler, you need to switch things up and hopefully open your team up to playing other picks. Because the issue is, if you're playing an aggressive jungler, most of the times you're going to want to pick tanks in other roles, in the top lane, in the bot lane, and that limits your team's playmaking capabilities in those lanes. And so I'd like maybe to see Fuzz possibly play something more aggressive than an Orb, something that he can maybe win the lane on. I don't know if he plays the side, but I think those could be possibilities.
Yeah, definitely. Fuzzy's is definitely, I believe, put out better performances on some of these more aggressive type damage top laners to really pull pressure coming up from his side. Vader, of course, does a lot of the same. We don't really see him often play the tanks in his lane, so seeing the two sort of duel off rather than giving off just the tank side from Fuzzy's to really not, because that composition didn't really work out for them near the end. As we saw Charming Ari not really get to a threatening position on that Orianna, so a lot of it just fell on the shoulders of Chibiterisu to be the damage dealer for the team off the back of these tanks and sort of the control style of the Orianna. But if we see a more potent damage set, and we see it a little bit, we saw it before in the sort of combos that Fuzzy's was allowed to play Riven in, where we just saw the Riven and the Lucian, and you just saw multiple avenues of damage that the other team would have to answer. So you say, we can kill this one person over here, but if the other guy's coming in with enough damage to threaten our team, then we have to split off to deal with both.
Yeah, one of the big issues they're going to run into here again is the first game they picked a lane, so Ori should have had a little bit of priority early on, and the Ornn doesn't really have any priority, and then you have Vayne and Thresh, and they don't have any priority, and you pick the Xin Zhao, and you don't have any lanes that really assist him or help him out at all. And that really became an issue. As you saw Akali, she got the 2 kills, and then she got a 3rd top lane because she was able to shove into her lane and roam top. I really want to see them pick a lane that's strong early and that can carry that lead and create some pressure on the map.
Definitely agree. I want to see a little more from Atlas in the early game, as we see Reign of Kings, most notably in a lot of their games that they've been winning. We just see them, ramping up that early aggression, ramping it into a very sturdy win, and hopefully getting into pick ban here, we'll see a little more of that adaptation and see if Atlas is looking to, stave out the pace that Reign of Kings brings to them and draw the game out to a good spot for them.
I'm really looking forward to this pick ban phase. It's one of my favorite parts because I think it tells you a lot about what the teams are thinking, what they're scared by, and what they feel comfortable with. I think it really gives a good idea of what they're looking to do in game. And yeah, here we go. We're into game 2, picks and bans. We're waiting on that first ban for the side of Atlas. I'm hoping to see the Akali come through.
Right.
I don't know about you, Skyson.
That'd be the Akali. Yeah,
oh, it's a Rek'Sai. See, here's the thing. I have seen Ajat on his Rek'Sai. And while I think he's strong and I think he's comfortable on it, I don't think it warrants a first ban.
I agree. I think there's such thing as respect bans, but I think that for what Ajat brings to the team with the Rek'Sai, I don't think that it's such a threat that they need to constantly commit the very first ban to it. I know he's gonna pick it up if it's up, but I think they still have to draft the rest of their team around what Ajat does.
Yeah, I think you're much better off drafting against a Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai has some really strong counters. There's some really good possibilities playing around Rek'Sai. That being said, they're sticking pretty adamantly to their same bands they did for the first game. You see the and there goes their calling. So they did switch up. I do appreciate. I don't remember what the third band was. I believe it was the Graves. I don't necessarily think a Jot will go through that early, but here's the interesting thing. Pax wanted the Xin Zhao. I think Xin Zhao is actually strong into Graves early. He gets outscaled by Graves, but he can out-pressure Graves and even fight Graves early on. So I wonder if they can still go for the Xin here, even with that Graves up.
Yeah, it's interesting to see now that they have first pick in their control. They are going to take the Alistair for Destiny ATL, though. So a pick he's been very prominent on, very comfortable. And they are going to just look at the Graves here for a Jot. Say, well, you didn't spend all 3 of your bands on me, so here's what we're going to go with.
And
it does also...
You can go ahead.
Yeah, so it does also leave the Sejuani up for Pax, he's been very comfortable mostly on the Sejuani, so seeing it taken away from him last game, now seeing that open for him, he may be more willing to go for that.
Yeah, I think that's the issue though, is Graves, you pick Graves.
Yeah, Graves will definitely bully that.
Yeah, he's just going to bully the Sejuani, he's going to bully the Trundle, so by leaving the Graves open, you really make it hard to play those champs unless you get priority in 3 of your other lanes. That being said, with the Orianna pick for Unique, that actually becomes a possibility if you can get a counter matchup in the mid. I am not the biggest fan of picking Trundle right now. I think you look for some other stronger picks in other lanes. Same goes with Sejuani. I think you're playing into their hands right now if you go with either one of those picks.
He's going to end up going with it. He's going to go with the Sejuani as the, working a little bit of the same comp that we saw last time coming up from ROK. They have the Sejuani, the Alistair. Ari hovering the Syndra here. What's the Lux?
Yeah, we're really looking forward to what that second champion that Charming Ari is going to perform it on. We see them ban the Ari away. They respect that. So really hoping that he can put down pressure with Syndra. I like Syndra here. It has a lot of threat onto Graves. You can burst him. You can force him out of fights early. It even has pressure onto Orianna. I hopefully see some respectful play come out of Orianna here. You should see early Megatron Cloak probably come down, or her start barrier. If she feels like she's better than Charming Ari, you'll see her stick with that Ignite spell and look for kills in lane.
Yeah, definitely looking to see a lot of pressure coming in. And it's nice they have sort of the multiple ways to get into a fight now. You have, of course, the Sejuani, the Alistair, and you also have now a Syndra stun adding into the mix to, to not just be the thresh hook type of pick finding where you're finding it on one person, but if you can get sort of the AoE layers on tough fights to keep people down, then it'll be really easy for Atlas to find a fight to start on their side, where Unique on the Orianna will be more looking to play up the back of somebody else here. They're going to take with a Varus here. I wonder if we're going to see the Ezreal get banned out this time. Also, they having a very nice performance last game.
I would like to see the Ezreal banned out here. I think the Varus is a good ban too. I consider it a top tier pick. You also see a lot of top lane bans coming out from the side of Reign of Kings. They're giving that respect to Fuzz and saying, hey, look, we're taking the Ornn. We don't want to get bullied out. Yasuo can win wall the Ornn ult. He does very well into it. Same with
the Alistair.
Yeah, especially with the Fiora. Same deal there. Does very well. So I'm really interested in what they're going to pick for Fuzz. I'd like to see that pick come out pretty much right out of the gate from the side of Atlas.
Oh yeah, and Izumi plays a lot of Shen support. That is, they're not going to go with the Ezreal there, which I think is unfortunate because that's most likely a guaranteed pickup for Osadeus here.
Yeah, it's his most played. You have a Sejuani, you have an Alistair, you have ways to get onto immobile AD carries, but an Ezreal is just going to shift away. He's hovering.
Oh, okay.
I like the Kaisa. It's not the Ezreal, but it does have some dashes, and it also shreds tanks. There's 2 big tanks on the side of Reign of Kings right now, and so the Kaisa, again, is a top tier AD carrier right now. I'd rank her right beneath Varus. So it's a very strong pickup. You have a lot of other damage sources coming from the Graves, coming from the Orianna. So it's It's strong. It takes a little time to scale, but at the same time, you have other scalers on your team, so you're kind of playing towards your win condition here. I do like the answer. You're basically saying from the side of Atlas, we see your late game scaling, and we want to counter you early aggression. Syndra is aggressive early. She power spikes off 1 items. Lucian power spikes off 1 items. I'm interested to see what we're going to see for the last pick. GP kind of goes away from that theme, but it does give them some late game scaling possibilities, which I don't know. It depends on how well Fuzz plays it.
I don't know how I feel with the Gangplank, but watching the last pick here for Nezumi, we did see him play the Bard in one other series, I believe. And of course, we're going to see the Braum come through. Good generalistic pick here. So support role. Huh.
Yeah, I like the Braum. It's good pair with the Kaisa. It works well with the Graves. Those are all champions that can easily proc Braum passive. It's pretty strong. It provides that disengage, which is good against the Lucian and an Alistair. Again, I think the issue you're looking at here, though, is you kind of have a lot of early aggression, and then you have a Gangplank.
Yeah.
What is he gonna do to help?
I feel like the Gangplank was just kind of picked as insurance after we get past the early mid part where, you know, Chibiterisu gets his Lucian damage power spikes. But when it gets to the point that the enemy team is sort of too bulky for Lucian to deal with, you just... Gangplank's just supposed to come in and save the day.
Yeah, but I think if you hit that point, it's too late. I think if you're looking at a point where it's like, oh, let's save the day, Gangplank, your Lucian's not going to kill anyone. Syndra might get 1, but then you have multiple damage threats. And honestly, Graves is going to one-shot people most likely. Like, I expect to see Graves go Dark Harvest here. He might go press the attack. That's a possibility. But honestly, Dark Harvest... he can just scale. He can sit here and say, hey, look, I just want to farm and I want to one-shot people. And that's definitely a possibility for him.
So, we see how things are going here moving forward. And I like the compositions here, but who do we think we're going to give this one to based on drafts?
I think Reign of Kings just had a much better draft. I think the Graves, picking Sejuani into Graves is suspect. I think picking the GP when you've already picked a early game comp into a Kaisa, I don't want to play ever against a 4-item Kaisa. You hit 3 items on Kaisa, you're in trouble. You hit 4 items on Kaisa, the game's over. So I really like what Reign of Kings did. I have some questions, and maybe they have some answers for me in game. We'll see. But definitely have some questions that need to be answered from the side of that.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think the only polarizing pick here was definitely the Gangplank, because I mean you saw the early ideas. You have the Alistair, Syndra, Sejuani engage, the Lucian burst afterwards, so they have a lot of power to find fights on their terms, knock people up, get things moving in their. I don't know, the Gangplank is just an odd pickup, so we'll see if the pick ends up working out for them going forward, or if we're going to see the Reign of Kings continue to move forward. And I'll bowl this out, close the series out 2-0. We will see how things go here. What am I looking at? See the cleanse on Unique. Yeah. He's going to take that in that matchup we talked about. So he's going to have that power against both this, which is helpful both against the Sejuani. I mean, it's the Syndra stun, the Sejuani stun. Also Ignite. You're able to stop the damage from Ignite with cleanse. To even pick up a kill.
I think it really contrasts. We saw Charming Ari go Orianna against the Sejuani with the TP, and there was a few times there where you're like, man, if she had the cleanse, maybe she lives there, or maybe she's able to help the team out in a different way. And so I do like the respect that Unique is showing there, and saying, hey, look, I'm going to take cleanse. I'm not going to die. My team has better scaling. All I need to do is wait for us to come online, and at that point, you guys are going to lose.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes, and I'm looking forward to it regardless. We're seeing Reign of Kings will make a stand here to take a strike at their playoffs, or if we see Alice here playing spoilers. So we're going to take it over to a commercial break, and once we get over, we'll be in Game 2. Kings.
My name is Tim Borseth, and I own and operate Games XP in Decorah, Iowa. Games XP is a geek paradise. We carry everything from Pong and Atari all the way to Xbox One and PS4, and all the games that would go with those consoles as well. We also carry a ton of movies. We have handheld games. We have Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon. We have D&D and Pathfinder. We carry Warhammer 40K. We have a vintage Star Wars selection. This place is great. My wife and I have had 6 kids, and they are so much fun to work with here at the store. They run the store as much as I do.
And we now repair cell phones, game consoles, computers, and small electronics.
Our store is instant fun. Not only is there cool music and cool stuff to look at, but we have a game room that is so much fun. It's free to play, and you just plug in your game system and enjoy life. The GXPC motto is bringing joy to people's lives through our products, people, and a place to play. So you have got to come to Decorah, Iowa and check out GXPC and experience this geek gaming paradise.
And we are back. GXPC Championship round game 2 between Reign of Kings and Atlas Esports. Reign of Kings sitting at a 1-0 advantage, looking to close out this series 2-0. Atlas Esports looking to play spoiler and draw it to 1-1 here.
And again, we're kind of talking about in during commercial break the respect that we saw from Unique going cleanse, and just the fact that, and also Graves going Dark Harvest, kind of saying, hey, look, we have the better scaling. We're gonna sit here, we're gonna farm up, and then you guys just can't beat us.
Yeah, they're definitely looking to just throw around the bulk of their team. They have the Braum, the Ornn, and the inherent tankiness of the Graves off the True Grit, and it's really gonna be rough if Atlas isn't able to converge with this, power spike of this Lucian Alistair, all these ways to engage a fight. If they're not able to, get ahead early and really shut this ROK team down, then it's going to be rough for them going forward.
Yeah. We see the early wards come down from the side of Atlas. I don't necessarily like the timing on all of those. You saw them come down at about 1 minute. The only ward that's really going to help you there is the bot side wards are going to catch Graves. But again, they doubled up. Both Lucian and Alistair dropped their wards bot side in River. They're going to get the same information. They're both going to see Graves if he goes for Scuttlecrab. If he doesn't go for Scuttlecrab, it's not going to give them anything.
Yeah, they're really forward to seeing a lot of fighting. We're seeing a Charmiari doing a nice job in the Syndra, putting Unique a little bit back, has got him to around half health at least. sitting on the, of course, the corrupting potion. I believe he has a time warp tonic there.
I do like the path we see coming from Graves here. He's going straight into his red. He knows that they warded top side, and he suspects that they warded bot side. So he's gonna say, "Hey, look, let me take my 2 major buffs, and then I might."
The ignite, the auto. Cleanse comes out from Unique, finds the flash cube, takes a tower shot, and the first blood goes to Unique there.
Wow. I think Charming Ari misplayed. I think she should have had the kill. I think she flashed into tower range, and Unique was able to pick up the kill. Not trying to take it away from Unique, but I think Charming missed one spell and could have had that kill.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate. Definitely, we saw it there. Having the cleanse there to stop the ignite, that's what did it. So he didn't have to die to the ignite off the back of that end. So very nicely done by Unique. Very not so nicely done by Charming Ari, but that's when we both all summoner spells now out of the mid lane. So that's a nice boon for both junglers here.
Yeah, and we kind of see what we talked about earlier is that the Gangplank is not providing very much as they have priority and is able to secure the
Vader
blue.
finds a knock-up onto Pax. Pax has to get out of there. Fuzzies is here with a sword, shoots a shot. Stun tries to come from Charming Iron on the side, doesn't quite find it. They're looking for more in the jungle, sort of back and forth action here. Vader looking.
I'm disappointed that they're in the side of Reign of Kings isn't trying to commit for more right there. I think they have the advantage with the Graves and with the ore in there.
Just kind of damage coming off from both sides, not really looking to make stellar plays there.
Yeah, you know Syndra doesn't have summoners. I think they missed an opportunity. They could have just committed hard onto Syndra and looked for the kill. Speaking of that,
Destiny on too. Nazumi's gonna drop the shield to get the lockup. The stun's actually down on the ignite comes through. He gets to the stand behind me, but Asadea's gonna go back in there. Lots of Kaisa damage coming down. And Destiny finds the slow on Chibiterisu. A nice little back and forth trade that it looks like it ends up kind of in favor of Asadeas there, as Nazumi eats up a lot of that damage from the combo.
Yeah, pretty much traded spells right across the board. You see the heal used by Alcideus, but saved on the other side, and you see Destiny use his Ignite, whereas Nuzimi saved his Ignite. So really, really well trade of summoners, but it could explode at any point again.
Yeah, I would say definitely if we find one of those two-man knockups on the side of Destiny. Nazumi playing a little bit further up with the Braum than he wants to maybe at times, trying to get that poke down, but just sort of the respect you have to give the Alistar in lane.
And the talking point I want to bring up now is looking at the farm of the junglers. Currently, because of that early aggression not securing the blue buff, you currently have Sejuani ahead in tempo. He's already got his first back off. He's secured a pink ward. He's going into his bot side jungle. He's securing his bot side camps. Graves hasn't even finished his top side camps yet. He's just now getting his back off. So at this point, the issue that you're going to run into is if you're Graves, you're not going to be able to go anywhere without being seen. You see the strong vision coming down, like right now. They're going to clear out this pink ward. He's going to put his own pink in it, and there's basically no way that Graves is going to get any more early aggression off on the bot side. All those camps are going to be cleared away. Sejuani's going to secure 2 Scuttle Crabs out of 3. That's really, really unfortunate. You see the priority coming out from the side of Atlas. And so far, this early aggression from the side of Atlas is actually working out pretty well for them playing around the bot side.
Yeah, so they're definitely getting a lot of what they're looking for here, and you're seeing the lead getting built up by Chibiterisu, who's, sort of the primary factor in getting into some early skirmishes and trying to put out a lot of that Lucian burst. So seeing him ahead even slightly is a huge boon for Atlas here in the early part of the game. Of course, Charming has to work up a little bit of her lead that she lost there.
And we see pings coming down from Pax onto the Wolves. It looks like he might be trying to steal away the camp from the Graves.
Gonna get... Fuzzy is gonna find a little bit of aggression for Vader as he tries to eat the orange to get away. Vader's gonna take a little bit of minion damage there and get the trade equalized as he turns back there.
I didn't entirely catch who captured that camp. I believe Sejuani might have stolen the bigs, and Graves might have gotten the big ones, sorry, and Sejuani got the small ones, but I'm not entirely sure there. So, I mean, that's Sejuani pressuring Graves. That shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen in any world. They are able to clear out the vision on bot side river, and now it's only Silver Crab on the side of Atlas, keeping mid lane safe. It's not even really keeping bot lane safe because they don't have vision secured. They don't have any vision, so I'd like to see maybe Graves play aggressive towards bot side now. I think he might have an opportunity to look for something. I don't know how well. Oh,
Destiny finding a nice knockup on 2. So you tear his sheer damage off from Nezumi.
And I'll tell you right now, if all a Jat wants to do at this point is farm, Pax is more than.
Ooh, the flash comes in from Destiny, the Gangplank ultimate. Nezumi might go down, or the Ignite comes up again. Jimmy finds the kill on Nezumi. The returning Ignite. Ooh, not enough! I expected a lot of damage. Yeah, that Kai'Sa's skill. I don't know Kai'Sa's values, and I thought that might actually just straight up kill him. But.
Well, maybe if they hadn't gone Doran Shield.
True. Regardless, Jimmy finds the kill there.
Yeah, but again, really well played from Destiny. But speaking of Pax,
Arn ultimate is here. Gonna flash away from Pax, and he finds the blast cone.
Yeah, this is really bad right now for a Jat. Like, even though he's securing these camps, the fact that Sejuani is able to go into his jungle, put pressure on him, basically means that you basically saw bot lane. They can play without impunity. They don't have to worry about, is Graves here? Because they know right where Graves is. They know Graves is at his red, so we can play aggressive bot. We can use our alt bot. They don't have to worry about getting ganked.
Pax is here with Fuzzies. Flash gonna come up from Viator. They find the Q, they find the stun, the Sejuani ultimate. Viator's gonna go down to Fuzzies here. Jot is here, but I don't think it's gonna matter. Wow. Atlas Esports.
And again, this is just right now being set up, I think, by the better play from Pax.
Finds the Cutlass slow into Unique, a little bit of illusion gank there. We see the Syndra combo come out. The flash comes in with Terry, who takes the auto and takes down Unique.
Whew.
Never thought I'd say Lucian gank with Cutlass slow, but there it is.
And she even had flash, and it didn't matter.
She unironically should have cleansed the Cutlass slow, most likely.
Yeah. There. It's probably one of those things you don't even think about, though.
Right.
She was probably sitting there waiting for like the stun to come through, and like, oh, I'm gonna save it for that, and she didn't even realize that the stun was never gonna come through.
Oh lordy.
Yeah, this is looking. This is the answer though we needed from. You know, we talked about early on, like we weren't entirely convinced by this draft, but right now Pax is showing that, hey, look, you give me Sejuani and I expect it's GP. It should be able to walk out of that. Yeah, okay. But yeah, he's saying, look, I can play Sejuani better than anything else, and if you give it to me, I'm gonna perform.
Right.
And also, though, it does make you question, why did they ban the GP in the first game?
Wait, what?
Not the GP, sorry. They banned the Graves. The Graves in the first game.
I feel like I don't know, I feel like they were looking for more of a Jot's pool. I don't think it was so much that they were worried about Pax playing a tank into the Graves. I think it was just they were worried about giving a little bit too much respect to a Jot throughout that first game, and when they saw that Unique was putting enough of a threat into the line of the team that they realized that one of those picks needed to go to. And I think if you compare those three champs across the board as far as Ajat's performances, as we see here, the ultimate is going to come in from Unique, and Ajat's going to actually find the kill there in the Charming Ari off the back of the Orianna ultimate.
Yeah, and that was that's just the damage from the Graves coming down. You saw the Dart Harvest auto come out and just does ridiculous amounts of damage. Not really enough vision coming down from the side of Atlas right now, and Graves found the opening.
As I was saying earlier, I think that when you compare the performances that Ajat's put from Rek'Sai, Camille, and Graves side by side, then I think Graves is the one that's sort of been the least threatening over time, so they end up switching the ban off of that there for Kali. And it looks like for the most part it's been working out.
Yeah. You do like the advantages that Pax has been getting for his laners.
Oh my lord, Destiny. These Hex flashes.
Man, reminds me of Helicopter.
Good lord.
But yeah, this kind of goes back to, I would say, we see the advantage right now being developed in bot lane through Destiny's play on Alistar. Speaking of, here comes another fight top.
He's going to find the knock-up off the back of that. He's going to flash away there, not having to worry. But that is his flash down.
Yeah, and hopefully, I would expect a repeat here from Jet. And in fact, they could even, I mean, yeah, as soon as Vitar gets back into that lane, I think he should be looking to repeat gank that when Vitar's ult comes back up. That's not no flash on GP. You have an Ornn. Ornn is incredibly tanky and he can hold that tower. You do see a good answer from the side of Atlas in picking up the Drake here, though. That's exactly what you want to see. The jungler shows on one side of the map, make a play, get something else somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely the moves coming in on the side of Atlas. So definitely capitalizing and making the right early moves here. So seeing the 2-0 and the Blather and King getting finished very early on Chibuterisu there puts a lot of pressure down now onto the bot lane as we see Ajat finally trying to make some moves here into the solo lanes.
And you also see really respectful play coming out from Ajat. He's going that early Megatron cloak. He recognizes that the person that can kill him right now on the map is the Syndra with her ulti, and that if he can tank through that damage, he has a chance at living.
Oof, he ended up putting a lot of damage down on Fuzzies by himself. Sejuani the ultimate to come in onto Ajat. Charming Ari's going to find the ultimate afterwards, and Pox going to finish the kill there. On Unique, flashes over for Unique. The gangplank ultimate comes through. Then you got the lockdown, and they take the kill down. Unique Fuzzy picks it up with his ultimate. Finds himself a cross-map kill and goes through there.
And at this point, like, it's Fuzzy doing work with his cross-map ultimates. It's been a part of 3 of the 5 kills so far, and it's basically just been him using his cross-map ultimate. There was the one gank topside, but outside of that, he's been just using his ultimate to get advantages and farming, and he's actually built up a pretty good CS advantage over Vidar's Ornn.
Yeah, it's really working out for him. He's doing both a good job of controlling his own lane and spending his ultimate just for the global presence, saying, well, you didn't really know what the gangplank was going to bring to these early mid fights, but how about a giant overlapping AoE slow? That'll come out for me and really work out in their favor.
So one thing I want to go back and talk about, though, is this matchup in the jungle. Again, Sejuani still leading the farm, but more importantly, looking at the runes that Ajat took Dark Harvest. As a Dark Harvest jungler, you want to be pushing 100 souls by 15 minutes. Ajat's sitting on 38. That is worrying. It basically means that he's going to take 30 minutes to hit that 150 spike. I mean, it's even acceptable to hit 100, I would say, at 20 minutes. But at this rate, he's not even going to hit that.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely troublesome if you're not getting yourself, into the heart of these skirmishes and not able to constantly be capitalizing on these, large objectives to pick up the souls, and it really puts you a lot further behind. I was looking, especially when we see Pax constantly contesting these objectives for him to, find the Dark Harvest souls off of.
And again, he's denied the gank here. They have vision, they see where he is, and that basically just means that no other lanes. Like, Fuzzy doesn't need to be scared, Ari doesn't need to be scared, they know where he is. Pax doesn't have to worry about any of his camps being stolen, and honestly, Ajat has no camps to farm right now because they've done such a good job of tracking him and keeping him. I don't think Ajat has successfully counter-jungled one camp. I could be wrong, he might have gotten the wolves, but Pax has secured more scuttle crabs.
Brahmin ultimate finds it on the tip. Destiny tries to get back. Astadeus going to ult him, but Pax is on the back here. Finds a Sejuani lockup. Astadeus going a little bit further. Gets shot out by Fuzzies. Finds the kill. Finds the bank. They're looking for a little more. Maybe gets Izumi. The Alistar combo goes down on Izumi. He's going to try to flash. Destiny's trying to find something. The slow comes out from Gangplank ult, but he's going to stand behind me to get to a Jot. And Unique's going to throw him the ball to get out of there. But that is still going to be a kill for the side of Reign of Kings. Charming Ari looking for the stun there. Doesn't quite find it off the ball.
And really, really lucky that Charming Ari was right there. If Charming Ari had enough mana for ult, that would be a dead Unique right there.
Yes, sir. We are going to see them clump up here. They are going to take that mid lane tower, spread a little bit of that first blood tower gold to all 5 members. decent little chunk of change in their pockets. We see several backs here, 1K or more gold. We see 1,700 in the back in the pocket of Chibiterisu with 1,500 on Charming Ari. That is a very nice move into, I believe Charming Ari is going to finish off the Ludens there. And we're going to see Chibiterisu working deep into his second item.
Yeah, and I can't help but keep questioning, like, it's a nice start. They're looking for a pick with Braum, but again, your Graves isn't even there. Like, you don't know where the Sejuani is. You have suspicions because you probably have a pretty good idea of what camps are coming up and where they are, and so you probably know Sejuani is towards bot side. As we just see a small trade go down towards top. I expect that to be nothing more than that. And again, it goes back, is Sejuani is up 20 CS over Graves.
Right.
I don't want to keep... I do want to keep coming back to this point because Graves should be breaching close, like, he should be over 100 CS. There's just no other way to cut it. Like, especially if you're going Dark Harvest Graves, you're saying, hey, I'm going to farm and I'm going to scale and I'm going to farm faster and better than you.
Right, and a lot of the issue that happened in that fight with the confidence and the not awareness of where Pax was on the Sejuani was Asadeas getting into the heart of that fight after the Braum ultimate and ulting, way back into the back line of the side of Atlas and having to flash there when Pax showed up and not really able to get himself out in time as he went down. So he really wasn't able to contribute a lot to that fight as is. They're looking for Destiny. Destiny finds the knockup onto a Jot. Here comes the fight. Unique has the ball there. The Ornal is going to come through. Ultimate knockup is going to find two. People getting thrown up. Asadeas comes in on the side and finds the kill into Chibiterisu. Going to find more. Asadeas now going in on the Kaisa. A lot of people lower on the side of Atlas. Vader flashes in, finds the kill into Destiny, and they might have to leave off of that. That is still going to be a 2-for-1 on the side of Reign of Kings.
And that is the definition there of how Orianna changes fights. A great 3-man ult following up.
Ooh, the flash in from Pax as he does not find the smite steal, and Ajat takes his life to boot.
And going back to that team fight, that's just the definition of a very well executed team fight. And honestly, a team fight that I don't think Atlas needed to take. I think Atlas could have said, "Hey, look, we used our ultimates earlier on. We used them to fight before. We don't need to do anything here. We can give over one fire drink. We already have one. Giving over one is not the end of the world. It's not the best, but it's not the end of the world." And I think they just didn't respect the Orianna ult there, and they got punished for it.
Most definitely. They sort of let Alistair walk up to them and start the fight off there and thought they were just able to stave him off, but quickly the rest of the members of Reign of Kings sort of poured on top of him to not quite let the favor swing the way they wanted to. And of course, Asadeas out on the outskirts of that fight until Chibiterisu sort of showed himself up there. Then he found himself CC'd and immediately saw Asadeas slide into that fight and started to pick him off there. So having that major crux of damage on Chibiterisu gone from that point in the fight really lowered the overall power of Atlas for the rest.
Yeah, and you can really see the potential in their damage too. Like, all that connected with the backline on the Lucian there was that Ornal, and then immediately Kaisa shifts over and basically just one-shots him, and she's not even at 2 items yet.
Yeah, definitely the spike that Reign of Kings is looking for is they evened up that. They were sitting at about a 3 or 4K gold deficit before that fight. And we're going to see that Destiny go for the combo here. Knockup's going to come in from Braum, but that's the culling coming out from Lucian, and they're going to leave Alistair there as he goes under the tower shots and the slows and the knockup with the slow. He's going to go down.
Yeah, and that kill goes onto the Graves, which is not where you want those kills to be going. And even kind of going back to that, we've seen Graves pick up a kill. He picked up a kill in that fight. You saw Kaisa pick up in the team fight that happened before that as well. And that's really helping them. Like, Graves is going to pick up souls off that. Like, I don't know what he's sitting at right now. He's sitting at 100. Like, so let's just put that in comparison. He was at 50 souls, right? At like 15 minutes. And in the course of 5 minutes, he picked up 50 souls. All because of those team fights that just were not necessary.
I really think starting to slip. And a lot of kills starting to fall into the hands. We see Ajat's finish the Storm Razor off of that, so he's put on top of the Dark Harvest, he's put that burst damage out with the Storm Razor, also getting finished by the Kaisa, working into the Rage Blade now. So power specs are starting to, being moved towards on the side of Reign of Kings, that Atlas are getting to the point where they're not able to, find these initial just knock up CC, running on the guy, shoot him, and he's dead. They're really having to get into a situation where these fights are lasting a little bit longer than their comp is really able to deal with at this point, as we still see Gang playing Soonest to Trinity Force and sitting at 3-0, very powerful on his fuzzies, but he's got one or two more items to go before he's a real, powerhouse threat for Reign of Kings to really need to watch out for.
Yeah, and definitely that scaling threat that you're worried about on the side of Reign of Kings. But at the same time, you kind of look, like we talked about in Champ Select, we look at the rest of their comp and ask, what do they want to do, and how does that play around the GP? And it really comes down to the fact of, hey, the Orianna is going to do more, the Kais is going to do more, the Graves is going to do more, and honestly, you almost have better engage on the side of the Orianna.
Looking for a little more here. Stun's going down into Destiny's. He has a flash out of there. The Orianna ultimate comes through. Doesn't find anybody. Finds Vader on the side as he ults in, but we see the Orianna ultimate come on too. Fuzzy's gonna run in here, try to find another kill. Doesn't quite find Asadeus, but they turn it on Vader. They might get the kill on him. As we see Asadeus slide in, Pox gonna get the kill on Vader. Charming Ari's there. Finally on the side. Doesn't find the stun to anybody. Gonna go down. The ultimate actually is gonna take out a Jot. And we see a 3-for-2 on the side of Alice as Charming Ari shows up to the fight. Unique has to watch out here. Unique actually takes out Chibiterisu, turns around and almost finds the kill on the Charming Ari, finds the stun on Asadeus. But the Alistair combo comes out and Unique finds the kill, turn on Charming Ari, and that is just a long overstay on the side of Alice as Unique and Asadeus at the end find the ace.
And again, it's a good start off to a fight. They're able to disengage the initial engage. Orange TPing in. Orianna's there before the Syndra, but they just don't respect that Syndra's coming down, and they get the opportunity to turn it. And then you see the exact same thing play out again, but just the same side of Reign of Kings, as they don't respect the consistent damage that's going to come out of Ori as you chase. And she ends up to pick up 3 kills that she did.
And he becomes parlay money in the middle of that.
Again, I mean, I'm just gonna go back to just disrespect on both sides. Really well to disengage, got punished, won the fight. Syndra came back in, didn't respect, and then they just didn't respect the Orianna, and he didn't respect the GP. Like, you saw him walk past the wave. Like, I don't know. Like, you're like, oh, he's walking past the wave. And he's not farming anything. I wonder if he has vision.
Yeah.
He's probably caught window shopping right there.
A little bit. Yeah, we saw a little bit of the ultimates coming through. And Asadeus finding that first kill in that team fight off of his ultimate. And you saw him walk through the ultimate, almost finding that auto attack to crit on Asadeus afterwards. Sejuani ultimate not quite finding a Jot there after the Alistair headbutt.
Yeah, I think that's some really big miscommunication there from the side of Atlas. Is they were of 2 different minds.
Looking for a fight here or an ultimate. Finding it on the back. You see Alistair find the knockup on 3. Looking for a fighter. The Braum ultimate comes in. Orion's only finds Fuzzies. Fuzzies on the side are going to shoot at Vader. Vader has to get out of that fight, but we still have a fight happening on the back here. Double kill coming in for Pax. They're looking for more. Not able to get into the core of that fight. Destiny goes down as he tries to knock up a Jot again. Pax is in the center of the fight, but it's not enough. Kais is going to burn him down there. And that's still a 2-for-2. Unique is still full health here. Doesn't have the shockwave available. Cinderston's not going to go through. But I think there's a lot more key players on the side. It's Fuzzies into the 2 carries of Reign of Kings series. Got to be careful. They're looking for a play off of Cinderstone. Fuzzies is still here. Graves is going to find the dragon there. Not going to get the outsmite there. Chibiterisu has to get out of here. Everybody's low on the side. A Jot flashes in, finds the Q into the wall. They're going to walk it out after getting the dragon.
So I'm going to be really critical right here of Pax and Charming Ari. They forced the Orin out of the fight, and then they flashed after him to secure the kill instead of turning their focus onto the carries of Reign of Kings. That gave time for the carries of Reign of Kings to dish out the damage, to kill Destiny, and to force and to kill Pax. If instead Charming Ari and Pax just immediately turn and go with the rest of the team towards the carries, a Jot and Unique, they end up winning that fight.
That's definitely You know, the turnoff to find the kill off on Vader after he'd already spent the ultimate, after he'd already gone for the knockup, not really having a lot more to contribute to that fight off of that cooldown rotation. It really showed, as we saw Destiny do his best to try to get in there for another Alistair combo, not quite having the ability to fight away Ajad's damage as he found the kill there. And once they really lose that Alistair in these fights, it becomes a lot harder for them to, you know, just instantly say, hey, this guy's knocked up, we can go in on him now. So once they've lost that Alistair avenue of engage, it's really on either Charming Ari or, you know, Fuzzy's just run in, and it's a lot less safer without that CC to deal with the, you know, controlling of Orianna and the Kai'Sa being able to be very mobile.
Yeah, and currently we can look at the gold lead. It's basically come down, and it's about a 2k difference. But when you calculate in the difference of fire drakes, you can basically say the gold is even. And then if we looked more specifically about where the gold difference is, the gold difference is all on the GP. He's got a 2k, and we're speaking of...
Arn ultimate finds 200 tower. The gameplay oh my lord. The Orianna ultimate, too much damage for them to deal with as Destiny and Charming Ari go down immediately. And that is unique on a killing spree here. And Reign of Kings going to take the tower with that as well.
And that's the exact issue you're looking at here.
Ooh, Asadeus tries to find Fuzzies there, slides it off the ultimate and gets the kill on the Fuzzies. Finds the heal afterwards and takes the double kill on the Tributarius. That is too much damage. Asadeus finally goes down to Pax, but they're going to storm on top of him. That is 3-on-1, and that is the ace coming through. Reign of Kings as they're looking to Baron now.
Yeah, and this might be a little bit of a greedy Baron. You could see possibly a TP come out. There's some low health bars, but it looks like they're going to secure it just fine here. And again, this just goes back to they're basically equal on scaling with a better late game scaling comp. You know, like the Lucian is even with the Kai'Sa. Well, he should be ahead, right? The Graves should be ahead of the Sejuani, but he just provides more, so it's perfectly fine. And then the only person with an actual advantage was the GP, but GP went. GP's is gonna get that naturally. It's part of his kit. He's gonna get an advantage, and you ultimately saw it there in that team fight. They're able to engage, execute, get the picks they wanted, and then you just saw the overstay again from the side of Atlas get punished.
Yeah, really. The fights they're finding here, and I mean, right there you saw as they were sort of pinned under their tower, just the very start of that fight, the very, you know, way far back where we saw Vader find the Ornn ultimate to knock up both Charming Ari and Destiny, and that's what happens to these Atlas fights that don't get started off of a Sejuani ultimate or an Alistair knockup. They really are relying on finding these, you know, AoE engages, these AoE knockups of their own to, you know, control the pace of the fight, because a lot of their comp involves throwing a lot of their damage up front between the Syndra ultimate, the Lucian, you know, upfront burst damage. It's a lot more of that, of these fights that we see go in their favor. So when you don't see that able to come out and, you know, them get locked up by the Ornn ultimate, them find the batted in the Orianna ultimate, it's definitely just ends up being a lot worse of a fight for them.
Yeah, I definitely like what Reign of Kings is doing at this moment. They have Vitar pushing up the bot wave, and what I hope to see here is I hope to see him push that wave to tower and then rotate and join the rest of the team. It looks like it might be the other way around. It looks like the rest of the team might be coming to join him.
Braum ultimate's going to find Pax on the side. Ornn ultimate comes through, Gangplank ultimate's on top, but we see Charming Ari get locked up again, disappears before she can hit a button. But we see Destiny finds the 3-man knockup, but I don't know if they have the fighting force here. Vader's going to walk over Pax. Alice is trying to get into the center of the team, a double kill for Ajat. And they're just taking it one after the other. Nobody down on the side of Reign of Kings, and that's 4 down.
Yeah, and this is going to be an inhib, if not the game right here. They're going to take towers so fast with double 80 carries. There's 30 seconds on anyone important. Charming Ari isn't going to be able to wave clear here. The GP is going to do work, but with the Baron creeps, it's just so hard for him to do it. I would like to see Vitar just back in TPN. I think that's a perfectly reasonable call right now. He'd be full life, and he'd be able to zone off the rest of the enemy team. But it looks like they decide just to back off for right now.
Yeah, that's going to open up the game, and what was previously a gold deficit for the side of Reign of Kings is now turned into a 5k gold advantage off of the back of just several team fights working.
And I want to go back. and I want to go back to the way they set that fight up, right? It was Atlas looking to engage. Atlas was looking for a pick. They were looking for something, right? They saw where Orin was. They were sitting in the jungle, but they basically just let Reign of Kings come in and face check and didn't actually engage. They basically said, oh, they're here, let's run away. And that basically put them at a disadvantage because it needs to be Sejuani ulting and then the pick comes through, right? The damage from the Cinder, the damage from the Lucian, and the tank from the front line. Because if they had all sit still and let the Orin ult come through, the Orin ult's gonna hit, and then you're gonna see the Orianna ult, the Braum ult, all layered on top, and all this CC stacks for Kai'Sa. And so Kai'Sa pops into the fight after all that CC has come through, and she just procs all her passives and does tons of DPS to the full lineup of Atlas, and there's just no hope. They just can't match that damage. And then you have Graves coming in and cleaning up who's ever left over.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing the mounting lead here for Reign of Kings as they... We see Pax looking for a Jot here. Fuzzy's on the side, finds the barrel. We're going to see the stun come up. A Jot might not have anywhere to go here. He's going to go down. Nice solo kill getting picked up there from Fuzzy's. A single kill. Nice solo.
And that's good. That's what you need from the side of Atlas if you want to stay in this game and you want to look for opportunities back in. You want to find kills onto your carry. And at that point, the person who's going to carry this game is your GP. He is fed. He is getting stronger and stronger by the moment.
Looking for the Orin ultimate is going to ground. This shockwave comes through on 2 as he finds the return kill on the Charming Ari, but he is going to go down there. Tell Manu's trying to force him, and they can't get to Alcidaeus there. Tributarius is trying to find him. Pax and disappear on the side. The heal's going to come through, but they're still going to find the kill. Nezumi off the Ignite finds the kill on the Pax. They can't get to Alcidaeus. He is behind the Orin, behind the Braum. He keeps looking at that Kai'Sa damage coming out. So Mezzi ults in, finds Tributarius now. Tributarius can't do it either. He's got to get out of there. The double kill comes in for Alcidaeus, and they're going to look for Tributarius. The Braum Q comes in. There's the W off the back from the Kai'Sa. And I think that's it. A triple kill comes in for Alcidaeus, and I think that's going to be the game.
And welcome to 3-item Kai'Sa, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, my lord.
She just cleans team comps. You give her a front line, and she will carry you.
And that is the 2-0 from the Reign of Kings.
So kind of to recap real quick, I really did like what we saw early from the side. They did a good job. We had some questions about the draft, but Atlas did a good job executing on doing what they wanted to do and shutting down the Graves. But then we just saw some really questionable decision makings, fighting when they didn't have their ults up, when they didn't necessarily have the vision or the position to get the engage they wanted, and allowing the damage to get layered and the CC to get layered on the side of Reign of Kings, and just cleaned up those fights.
Yeah, really, and looking a little bit at these post-game stats again, we see sort of the same story getting told. A Jot putting down a massive amount of damage, the 19,000 on the Graves, and most notably this one, Unique pulling ahead off a lot of these Orianna ultimates, put out 29,000 damage to Alcidaeus' 28,000. And on the side of Atlas Esports, we saw a lot of work getting put out by the 24,000 onto the Gangplank and the 21,000 from Lucian. So definitely a lot more back and forth fighting this time. You saw Atlas execute their game plan pretty well throughout the early stages, as we saw, the Lucian. You saw these fights that Pax was able to start, and just sort of the favor shifted away from them coming through the mid game. So nicely done by the Reign of Kings.
Yeah, and I definitely think the story has less to do with the amount of damage that came through and more about the play of the tanks and the engage on the side of Atlas. I just didn't see them being on the same page. And there was a blue fight that I remember where the Alistar headbutted away the Graves, and then the Sejuani ult came through, and there was no pull, right, to follow it up. And so there was no lockdown, and the Sejuani ult missed. And then they still looked for something. They still looked for a fight. And at that point, they just needed to call it quits. Back off. You didn't get who you wanted, and just call it quits. And say, when our ults come back up, when our playmaking ability comes back up, that's what we'll fight around, and we shouldn't fight when we don't have.
So very nicely done in Reign of Kings. They secure that win. course, they were looking to find, I believe, they needed at least 2 wins to secure that 6th spot in playoffs. But more importantly, as we get in here, we're going to look at the MVP pick for the series. And I know what I have in my head, but I'm curious on your thoughts here.
I think it's Unique. I think Unique performed amazing on the Akali. He got an advantage, and then he translated that into other lanes in the first game. And then in the second game, he hit some massive Orianna ults with massive damage to follow up, and really showed that he can perform on both those champions very well.
It's reasonable. I was going to say a Jot, but I definitely think a strong case is made for Unique, especially for the chaos he was able to make on that early Akali game. It really worked out for him, and of course he was really the kingpin to a lot of those mid-game team fights on the Orianna, just finding several multi-man ultimates off the back of him.
I think the issue that I have with Ajat is that he lost to Sejuani in early game jungle. Like, I don't know. I think that's an issue. I definitely think that there is a case to be made for the AD carry.
Yeah, I think the strong case is Asadeus. I was thinking Asadeus in the first place because of the really strong game on the Ezreal going deathless. But a lot of it, of course, we talked about was a lot of him playing to the strengths of the beefy frontliners that they end up picking for him. But I know that the last time I had Reign of Kings here, we did an interview with Unique, so I think for my sake, I wanted to pick Asadeus here.
I think that's fine to pick Asadeus. I do think he did pick up a lot of the kills towards the end once he came online. Like, he was playing towards his win condition, to be fair. And I think, like, it's hard because I think a lot of the reason he was able to perform so well is because you saw the setup come through from Vitar and from the Braum. Like, there's this really good setup for him on that Kai'Sa to carry. He was able to come in and just clean up fights after it had all been like set up for him to carry. All the damage had been dumped from the side of Atlas, and he was just able to come in and clean up.
And I do believe that we have been joined here by Asadeus. So now tell me, before we get into any of this, pronounce your own name for us.
That's funny. I actually don't know how to pronounce my own name.
There we go.
Asadeus it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Open to interpretation, baby. That is Asadeus here.
Well, some people say Asadeus, so I guess that makes more sense than Asadeus, but I mean, both are fine.
Fair. All right. I like it.
It's a fun name to say, that's for sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, Asadeus, why don't you give us your team's perspective as you guys entered this match? What were you guys hoping for? This has big implications for you guys moving forward. I believe now all you need is to win against RDE and you secure a playoff spot. What were you guys looking coming into this game, and what does this win mean for you as a team?
Yeah, so well, going into this week and also last week, we were just thinking that if we can 2-0 both these weeks, we're basically in for playoffs 100%. So both these weeks, even last week and this week, we came in with the mindset that, you know what, we're just gonna fucking heart smash, and that's what we just tried to do. Play our best.
Awesome.
Yeah,
do you have it? Sorry, you can go ahead.
I would say you've been you in particular have gotten away with a lot of your favorite picks through a lot of his games. A lot of the bans have been drawn towards the jungle and the mid lane, and I see a lot of the games you get away with picking the Ezreal a lot. So seeing you on the Kai'Sa has been very interesting. And is it sort of? I see a lot of your first round drafts go to a lot of the solo laners, and you kind of work out the bot lane as it goes. But is it not something you've been not too worried about? Because you get your comfort picks most game, and you just say, well, if you can build around me, then it'll just work out. You don't really need me to play too many different things here.
Well, I mean, the thing is that my solo laners and junglers, like, they're all really good at their like top 2, top 3 picks, right? So the enemy team always has to ban them out, because if you don't, then like you saw game 1, Unique got Akali, so it's like you just can't do anything. You can't give Unique Akali, you can't give Eli Rek'Sai, you can't give Vider Aatrox, and so it's like you give them those picks, and like I can just chill, I can do whatever. So like I'm not really worried about my pick. I can play like generally like most matches I can do fine in anything, so it's like whatever.
So I remember I asked Unique last time I had you guys, but now that I have the AD carry, I can ask you, how seamless has the switch been from Balthazar's support now to Nezumi? The champ pools have looked a little bit different in what you've been able to do, but how has that worked out for you now in the bot lane?
Right, so difference between Balthazar and Unique, Balthazar and Nezumi. Belsar was more of the shot caller, right? So a lot of the times even when we're in lane, he's paying more attention to what's going on the map. So like, if we're fighting top side or if we're fighting mid side, he's like more like on that side than he is in lane, right? So a lot of the times our game plan with him was just to like chill in lane, do whatever, and then let them get advantages elsewhere. Nezumi's a fucking beast, dude. This guy's gold 1, but I don't know how the fuck he's not like diamond 5 or some shit, dude. This guy's so fucking good. Like every time in lane, he just plays so fucking well. So it's like he just
can I confirm something there? Did you just say diamond 5 players are gold?
I mean, they're about the same.
I didn't say that. I said Nezumi is way better than his actual rank. Like I think this guy's a fucking beast. Like he carries me super hard in lane. Same with Balsar. Even when I was playing with him, usually he would be the one carrying me in lane. So it's like I just get carried by my support, whoever it is.
I feel like I've heard that from almost every AD carry in this league.
Dude, if you just watch Nezumi play, he's so fucking good. Like he's actually so fucking good.
That's about all I had. You have anything else?
I was just gonna ask for Osadeus' predictions going against RDE later this week.
Yeah, I would say you do have the match against RDE. I believe that is Sunday. And
yeah,
that is most. Now that they're sitting at one loss down, you're sitting at 1 up. That most likely the game that everyone's looking for that last playoff spot. So are you guys nervous, pumped? I know you said you're looking to just go in 2-0 smash. Are you doing your homework there on the pick ban phase and seeing how it's gonna go?
Yeah, for the pick ban, shout out to Eli. He's really good at pick ban. He's been doing that for like ever since Belsar left, so he's doing pretty good. Match with RDE, I'm hoping we can win, because if we win, we're basically in playoffs. So everyone's looking forward to just playing their best for that game.
Awesome. And you have a prediction at all?
Hell yeah, 2-0, dude.
2-0. I like it. I like the confidence. 2-0. You heard it here, guys. 2-0 against RDE. Come watch it on Sunday. Do you have the time?
I think
it's in the schedule. I'm gonna go look it up. And as I go look it up, do you have any shout-outs yourself to give?
Dude, shout out to my team. You know, Wider played well. Ajat, aka Eli, and Unique played really well. Shout out to both of them for not tilting after all the bad shit happened, you know, mid and jungle in both games. So shout out to them for that. And shout out to Nezumi for always carrying my ass in lane and in game.
And that is going to be Sunday at 6:30 Eastern. We will have Red Dusk take on Reign of Kings, more than likely for that 6th place last playoff spot. So look out for that. Look for Reign of Kings to take that by storm. And thanks for joining us, Osadeus. Good showing today.
Thanks for having me, guys. Happy I got it.
Thank you. Good job.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I believe that's all we've got here. I don't think there's another game. Well, there is a game I believe still running over. If you check out the stream, we've got Schism Esports playing against No F's Given over there, being cast by our boy Evolve. But that's all we've got on this stream. And once again, I'm Skyson, and joined here by my boy Hottie Williams.
Yo.
And as for that, everyone have a good night, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. I'll actually get that time for you because we've got another hot game tomorrow. As we talked about the 6th playoff spot, where I'm gonna say that we're looking forward to tomorrow's game. Most likely looking for that 2nd place playoff spot. Purple Cobra is taking on Schism Esports tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern. So look forward to that game. I'll be back with another man, but
yeah. I believe actually they're still in game and it's not being casted on the primary Schism versus No.
Yeah.
Is it all okay? I checked on the 2nd GXP channel, so
we will make sure to put the link there for you guys to head over there to check that out. Yeah,
Let's
check it out. Stay on this channel. We'll go over there. So have a good night, everyone.